Welcome to the Statline podcast. I'm Safal.
I'm Atlas.
Let's get started, man. We took a week off last week, or made a late episode, I guess. So now we're back. How's it feeling, Atlas? End of the
Feeling
NFL season's upon us. The NBA season is in full swing. We got to get started on that once football's over. But yeah, I mean, dude, the playoffs are coming up.
Dude, yeah, New York's finally got a championship in like the first time in like 50 years. Speaking
They're
of
not gonna put up the
NBA.
banner apparently.
Oh yeah, I don't blame them, but they do have like a banner for Harry Styles' 15 consecutive nights in Madison Square Garden, which is crazy to me that they would have that, but it's pretty impressive. But you got to put that NBA Cup banner as well if you're the Knicks.
No, I don't know about
Like
all
the
that, dude.
Well,
You're
the
one of the
Bucks and
most.
the Lakers did. I don't think you'd be like looking like clowns if you did put it up there, but I understand their decision as well. Try to be.
I think it was a clown decision by the Lakers, especially more than the Bucks to put that banner up. I mean, you're the Los Angeles Lakers, man. You have 17 titles. What are you doing putting up an NBA Cup banner? We
I
can do
agree.
better than that.
Yeah, I mean they don't even have enough
Soft,
space for
soft.
everyone.
You know that Kobe meme that just goes soft? That's what I feel. Yeah.
Soft. Yeah, man, but I'm doing pretty good. You got the NFL Week 15 just passed. We're on to Week 16 and the crunch time of the regular season here in the NFL, and then off to the playoffs. I know there's a heartbreaking loss for your team, so I feel like we should start with that. What are your thoughts on the Panthers after they took an L to Tyler Shuck and Kellen Moore?
That was the most devastating loss I've had as a Panthers fan, probably since the Super Bowl back in 2015. Maybe the TJ Watt hit when we got destroyed by Pittsburgh on Thursday Night Football in 2018 comes to mind. But other than that, I mean, that was as brutal of a loss as you can have. I mean, let's paint the picture here, right, Atlas? Before the Panthers went on by 2 weeks ago, they played the Rams. And coming into that Rams game, we just stunk it up against San Francisco on Monday Night Football. Bryce Young did not look good. We come into the Rams, the Panthers fans are all down, and voila, we beat the best team in the NFL again after we had beaten the Packers. And now we're feeling good. We're feeling like high and whatnot. And then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lose 2 games while we're on bye. Now the Panthers are in the front seat to win the division. All they got to do is beat the 3-9 Saints or 3-10 Saints, and then we have a home playoff, basically playoff game against Tampa Bay. Win that game, and you're in the playoffs. You can rest your guys for the next 2 weeks, get healthy, and go on this deep playoff run. And then in that game, halfway through, we're up. I'm so excited. I buy tickets to go to the Buccaneers and Panthers game because I'm thinking, oh my God, like this is gonna be the greatest game ever. And then the choke job happens, man. We go for it on 4th and 1, which I like the decision to go for it, but the play call was awful. Doing a fullback dive with Chuba Hubbard after he tried that already earlier in the game. I mean, that what are we doing here? And then don't get me talking about the refs, man. That was a horrendous refereeing job by the NFL. I mean those guys that were refereeing the game on Sunday, they should be fired immediately. Immediately. That was just disgusting. That was a disgusting showcase of refereeing in the NFL. Oh man, don't get me started. Just an awful experience. What a letdown, man. I mean, I just can't believe it.
Yeah, dude, it's painful, to see the Panthers squander these leads that they had, and this is their first division lead, being in the front runner seat for the NFC South, and then yeah, it seems like they have some really off games and then some really big games, and it's kind of
I mean, we win every other week. We win every single other week. So if that holds true, we're gonna be in the playoffs because that means we beat Tampa Bay. We got Tampa Bay this week. We lost last week, so we're gonna win. Then we got Seattle. We'll lose, and then we got Tampa again. We'll win that. We're in the playoffs. Bryce is gonna cook again.
I like that prediction. Hopefully it comes true. You gotta win on Sunday though. So
Oh, for sure. I'll be there at the bank, dude. It's gonna be rocking regardless. I wish we'd beaten the Saints, so that game was for the division. Then it would have been even more rocking. That would have been like the biggest game in Bank of America Stadium in 10 years, basically. But now it's still a huge game for us Panthers fans. We gotta be out there at the bank, get loud, and hopefully our team comes home with the victory.
it's gonna be a good one.
For sure, dude. And I mean, outside of the Panthers, what a brutal week in the NFL with all the injuries. Mahomes, and at the 1 o'clock slot, then in the 4 o'clock slot, you had Micah Parsons and Devonte Adams. I mean, Devonte Adams doesn't look season-ending serious, but with Mahomes and Parsons both tearing their ACL, you just hate to see it, man. You hate to see the two faces. I mean, you could make an argument that these are the most recognized offensive player in football and the most recognizable defensive player in football in Micah Parsons and Patrick Mahomes, both out for the season on the same play. Just awful to see.
Dude, it's terrible. I mean, I think we're both in agreement. Like, most NFL fans hate the Chiefs and hate this Chiefs dynasty with Mahomes and Kelsey, but it's really sad to see a player of that caliber, especially, go out. This was their worst season under Mahomes, and the end of the season, really no reason for him to even be, playing. Obviously they were close to being eliminated at the end of that game when this happened. But I just wish we could have prevented that somehow. It's a freak accident, and same.
It's the worst part of football.
Yeah, same thing with Micah. Like, people were saying, was it Bo Nix, that caused it? Was it McGlinchey not blocking that caused it?
Wait, how did Bo Nix cause it?
They said his juke moves caused that.
Oh, was that Ryan Clark?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, it just sucks for the NFL. As you said, these are like the faces of the league on the offensive side and the defensive side. So, wish them all the best getting back. And as we talked about earlier, I don't know if Kelsey and Mahomes will ever play together again. It looks like Kelsey's gonna walk away after this year, start his honeymoon journey with Taylor Swift post football. But yeah, it's really sad to see.
For sure. I mean, don't get me wrong. I did not want the Chiefs to make the playoffs. I hate the Chiefs. I think they have so much success that it's time for some other teams to get some success. But to your point, you never want to see like a guy, I mean any guy for that matter, but especially Patrick Mahomes, that he is the face of football right now. Like when you think of the NFL, the first player the first image that comes into your head is that red 15 jersey. And it just sucks. Oh man, I hated the way it happened too. Like, against the Chargers, you lose that game, you're out of the playoffs, and they're down 3 points, and bam, like it's end of the fourth quarter, and it just sucks to see it that way. And then same thing in Green Bay, man. You think they're about to go on a special run? They're undefeated in the division, right? The cold games are coming up. This is where Green Bay's supposed to thrive. They have Jordan Love finally entering the middle of his prime, age 27 season. This, Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre both of them won their respective Super Bowls at this same age season as well. Jordan Love's in that year, and they're just so. I mean, the Packers, the entire team, man. It's not just Parsons on that team. They had like a few guys that were injured. It was just an awful day for Green Bay and Kansas City and all of football fans.
Yeah, dude, it's terrible to see as NFL fans. I don't think anybody was happy to see those injuries. So definitely a negative towards the NFL, but you gotta keep watching regardless of who's out there. Is still a good product to watch, and for years to come that'll be the same way. But I feel like the biggest headline of this week was Phillip Rivers coming back.
Yeah, dude.
Signing last week.
Unc was slinging it.
Unc was slinging it for real. Yeah, he got himself a touchdown pass.
Josh Downs
coming back on Monday, and then flying out to Seattle, facing one of the best defenses in the league, and then leading the team to almost win that game. It's impressive, but he definitely showed his age. What are your thoughts on Phillip Rivers coming back to play for the Colts?
I mean, he was on the road in one of the most toughest environments in all of football in Seattle against one of the best teams in football in Seattle and had them in position to win late into the fourth quarter. What more can you ask for from a guy who hasn't played football in 5 years? He's 45 years old, is a literal grandpa, like not in hyperbole. He has a grandchild. He has, that was so impressive by Phillip Rivers. Now, if you put him in the NFL standards, yes, maybe it wasn't a great game. But I'm grading Philip Rivers on a curve given the excruciating circumstances that he's playing under. I mean, just the extreme of the extreme, right? Not having played in so many years. I mean, he's coaching high school football 2 weeks ago and almost beat
His
Seattle
last
on
game
the
was
road.
during COVID.
Yeah, and he almost beat Seattle. It's not just any bum team. You know what I mean? They have the best record in football after Denver, right? I mean, they're tied for the second best record in football. He's at Seattle, one of the best. I mean, the Seahawks probably have the best defensive football right now, or one of, right, after Houston and Denver, and maybe New England. Seattle's in that group of who has the best defense in football. And Philip Rivers, I mean, he had him in position to win it. What more can you ask for from the guy? I thought he showed real potential there. Now let's see how long he can hold up for. Obviously, his arm. He already had a weird throwing motion. It looked even weirder on Sunday.
That was my point. Like he had a weird throwing motion, as everybody knows, especially me as an NC State fan watching those old Wolfpack highlights from back in the day. But yeah, that crazy, sidearm throwing motion. It always used to get to a receiver some way somehow. But now it's like it looks a little floppier. It takes a little bit longer to get to the receiver, and it's causing the DBs to be able to get an easier break on the ball, and it really hasn't pained them too much. Obviously, he did have that one interception, but he played all right. But how long do you think he'll be able to keep that starting job? I understand it's the last few weeks of the season, but Anthony.
I mean, at this point, you gotta let him ride out the season. Like, you did not just bring him out from retirement just to play one game in Seattle. Yeah, I mean, I think they already announced that he's gonna start their game against San Francisco on Monday. So after that, there's 2 games left, right? No, regardless of if Richardson is healthy, you have to let Philip Rivers just play this out, especially if he wins on Monday. And even if he doesn't win, they're 8-7. They're out of the playoff race. Just let the man, play a couple games to end his career one more time. But if they win on Monday, and they're in the thick of the playoff race, and Philip Rivers is 1-1 with a win in San Francisco and another close loss at Seattle, you gotta let Philip Rivers ride it out. So either way, I think Rivers is gonna end the season as the Colts quarterback.
Yeah, I think him having to wait 5 years to potentially make the Hall of Fame again. I know he may not have made it this first year, but that's not worth it.
I actually have a hot take that was a super smart thing to do by Philip Rivers, because remember, if he has to go into the Hall of Fame right now, the guys he's competing with is Brady, right? Brady's going to be eligible in a couple years. So Ben Roethlisberger, Eli Manning, Matt Ryan, like guys. There's just so many guys that are vying for that Hall of Fame spot in this group of quarterbacks. Peyton Manning made the Hall of Fame a couple years ago, or a few years ago. So he's going to be bunched with these types of guys. Drew Brees is another name, right? How many of these quarterbacks are they going to let him in? Drew Brees is probably a lock. Ben Roethlisberger is probably a lock. Outside of that, Eli is probably still ahead of Philip Rivers, and we don't know if Eli's going to get in. I think he will. But Philip Rivers, I don't think
Eli is going to make it in.
But I don't think Philip Rivers would have been able to make it in now. Now, in 5 years, there's no other quarterback that he needs to wait out in 5 years. I mean, who's going to be retired that's going to be Hall of Fame eligible in 5 years? Like Andrew Luck? I mean, not really. Cam Newton, maybe? Cam Newton's not going to make the Hall of Fame, I don't think. So, I mean, or at least if the decision came down to Philip Rivers versus Cam Newton, you'd take Philip Rivers to go to the Hall of Fame, right?
Think about it. If he's extending out this eligibility, then he's going to have to go up against Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, these guys that are about on their last leg of their NFL career. I get that there's not a huge name.
I think Philip Rivers makes it over not Aaron Rodgers, but Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I agree, but even Joe Flacco, I feel like has a case.
No, but I would take Philip Rivers over Joe Flacco in a heartbeat.
I agree. No, I would.
I think Philip Rivers is in prime position to make the Hall of Fame 5 years from now than he would have been right now with all the quarterbacks that are going to be vying to make the Hall of Fame right now.
But
I think in 5 years, literally the only guy that's a lock over Philip Rivers is Aaron Rodgers. Outside of that, no active quarterback, I would say, is more of a lock to make the Hall of Fame outside of Rodgers and Mahomes. That's it. Maybe Allen and Lamar, But like Allen and Lamar are gonna play 10 more years, right? I mean, hopefully they do. Allen probably will. Lamar, he's been injured this year, but hopefully he comes back strong next year. I mean, I think the Hall of Fame eligibility thing was a smart move by Philip Rivers.
I don't think he was doing it for that reason though. It's
No,
not
of
like
course not. But I think if you look at it on the lens of the Hall of Fame, it's a smart move, is what I'm saying. I guess.
I agree. I think he would make it within the next 5 years though, regardless, even if he wasn't like pushed out. But
You think he actually would have made it?
not this year, but not for
Yeah. Eventually.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think he deserves it. Even though he never made it to a Super Bowl, didn't have the team success you want a Hall of Fame quarterback to have. I think the individual success carries him to the point where you gotta let him in.
Yeah, I agree. His like passing yards and touchdown stats, what he was able to do with that Chargers team. They never really truly built a perfect team around him. They had a great offense, but they never had all three phases working properly enough to win a championship
Yeah.
with him there. But yeah, dude, that was crazy to see a 44-year-old come back and play. It's wild in the NFL to see a QB, especially
Unprecedented.
come back and do that. Yeah, within like a week and already go ahead.
I mean, you think we're gonna see more like teams doing this, especially if Rivers can win a game? Because I mean, this also speaks to the QB development system, right? Like, what is going on in the National Football League for them to call up Philip Rivers, a guy who hasn't played football in 5 years, rather than hunt a backup quarterback? Like,
It's crazy, dude.
it's
I mean,
insane.
Sam Ellinger like denied to come back to the Colts. I think he wanted to stay on the practice squad for the Broncos. So there's other guys that they were looking at, but
Wait, really? Sam Ellinger declined to be a starting quarterback in the National Football League to be a practice squad player?
I'm pretty sure, dude. He I guess Sean Payton's got a good grasp on him or something. But
Yeah, I see your point. Yeah, I see the article.
Yeah, dude.
That's crazy.
Philip Rivers wasn't necessarily the first choice, but he was on the short list because he knows the plays. Like this year, his high school team was running the Colts offense, and apparently him and Shane Steichen were calling once a week to go over like plays and stuff like that. So he probably had that relationship, that connection, be like, okay, go ahead and slide in. Let's get you for Seattle as long as you're not too out of shape. Which honestly, he did look a little bit thicker than the last time we saw him, but able to get the job done at least enough to be a starting quarterback right now.
Now let's talk about the other unk in the NFL, Aaron Rodgers. Boy, did he look good against the Miami Dolphins. What did you like about his play there? I mean, he was just slinging it, man. It was like back in Green Bay. DK Metcalf was just like manhandling dudes. That was just a thorough beatdown that we watched on Monday Night Football.
Dude, when DK realizes he's like a 6'4" receiver with a 4'4", 40-yard dash, 4'3", whatever it was. Dude.
230 pounds, 4'3", like a 40-yard dash, 6'4", like he's just a menace.
Yeah,
An absolute menace.
When he realizes what he has to work with, and like he's actually a good receiver, but half the time he's just wanting to run out there and speed past guys and then drop the ball 20 yards down the field, or block a little bit, I guess. But this is good to see DK have a couple big games back to back like this and have some consistency. And, for Aaron Rodgers, I think he did a great job getting the ball out to all of his receivers. Kenneth Gainwell, a big security blanket for him, getting those tough yards. And Arthur Smith doing a pretty good job of fooling defenses, running Connor Hayward with the tush push, and then end up running Jonnu Smith for that last touchdown. He's pretty creative, even though his offense is relatively boring to watch, in my opinion. But Aaron Rodgers,
the resurgence of Kenneth Gainwell has been something special to watch, dude. Like, he's so like such a under the radar but all over the radar type of guy. You watch a Steelers game and he's always popping off on the TV screen, But then he's also under the radar. Like it's just Kenneth Gainwell. He's a check down. At least Jalen Warren, like he gets all the runs and whatnot. He's the starting running back. He gets a little more cachet. Kenneth Gainwell is the backup running back, but he is so important to that offense. And it was beautiful to see on Monday.
Yeah, Gainwell's a beast, dude. Like all Eagles fans would be able to tell you, he was very good. He started out his
They
career.
signed him to a 1 year, $1.7 million deal. In like
Yeah,
an insane steal.
that's probably one of the biggest steals, yeah, of the offseason for sure. That helps their team out so much. I'm sure Jalen Warren likes to get more touches every week, but it's hard to keep Gainwell off the field. I wish the Eagles would have unlocked his potential a little bit more, like the Steelers are doing. But it's great to see him, balling out for Pittsburgh, and they got a good offense. They need a couple more receivers, which I don't think
They have a
obviously
pretty unique offense. They have a team that's led by Aaron Rodgers, 42-year-old quarterback. They have, their best offensive weapon is backup running back in Kenneth Gainwell. They have DK Metcalf that they're not really utilizing.
Darnell Washington.
Yeah, Darnell Washington, Pat Firemouth, Jonnu Smith, tight end galore. I like that and they have a strong offensive lineman.
Hayward getting the first touchdown.
Yeah, Connor Hayward is like QB, or what do you call tush push 10 versus 11 tush push specialist, right? Which I don't get, by the way. They just have Aaron Rodgers in the back, just chilling. Like, why don't they bring in another guy?
Yeah, I saw a tweet. They were saying that Arthur Smith is like full in defenses right now, and eventually he's setting it up for like a QB rollout, in the playoffs if they do make that, with that same formation. So what people are saying.
You think they'll toss it back to Aaron and he's gonna throw a touchdown pass to DK?
He'll do something with it to score. I'm not sure if it's gonna be DK, but
He'll do something with it.
yeah.
I mean, boy was slinging it though, dude. Those passes, like they were bullets out of Aaron Rodgers' hand. The touchdown to DK was right through Minka's hands. It was crazy to see.
No, he's still elite with the ball, and he's seeing Philip Rivers come back in. He's like, I still got some life left in the tank, and I'm better than these old heads that came before me.
Yeah, I mean, now the Steelers they have a game against Detroit this week. Then they got Cleveland. Then they got Baltimore. The Steelers they can just sit their starters the next two games and just beat Baltimore and get into the playoffs. Or if they beat Detroit this week and Baltimore loses either against New England this week or Green Bay the following week, they would just need to beat the Browns. And they have the playoffs clinched up. They can rest their starters in the last week of the season and go into the playoffs healthy. How do you like Pittsburgh's chances going into the playoffs?
I like them to make the playoffs, but I don't think they're gonna beat Detroit this week and make it easy on themselves. Like Detroit's in the same boat. They can make the wild card. The Steelers can't at this point, but Detroit is gonna win this game because they're just the more talented team, and they have more to win for this week, in my opinion, to clinch their spot or not clinch their spot, but get closer to making that NFC wild card. It's very, very deep NFC conference this year, and so it's really hard to make the playoffs. And I think the Lions poised to come back after that game last week. So close against the Rams, but so far away. It felt like the Rams just did everything they needed to in the crucial moments. Fourth downs, throwing it out to Puka. Late touchdowns. Like it was a
Kobe
beauty to watch,
Parkinson.
Parkinson. Yeah, he clutched up for some fantasy owners for sure. But yeah, no, I think the Lions are going to win this week. But I do agree that the Steelers, after this game against the Dolphins, they're set themselves pretty nice for making the playoffs. But I do still think the Ravens have a shot. It's not likely, but
I mean, the Ravens have to beat New England and Green Bay, and then Pittsburgh again. The Ravens basically have to win out if they want to make the playoffs, and they have a gauntlet in front of them. Right? I mean, they have arguably.
I was
Go
gonna
ahead.
say the Ravens just do it to themselves. Like they'll play like a garbage team and then just lose. Like I can't expect them to like live up to those expectations of these other three teams that they're gonna face and actually win all three of those games.
Yeah, I mean, let's see how it is. I think this week I actually like Pittsburgh over Detroit. I think Aaron Rodgers is back in Detroit, his NFC North rival from all playing all those years in Green Bay. He used to own the NFC North back in the day. He used to, especially Detroit and Chicago. And this year he beat Minnesota. He lost to Green Bay at home. He was out against Chicago. I'm sure that bummed him out to play in Soldier Field one last time. Now he'll get to go to Ford Field one last time and play in that Detroit crowd. I think Aaron Rodgers is gonna love it, and he's gonna be slinging it. December Aaron Rodgers. I like the Steelers in this one. I think they're gonna clinch the playoffs next week against the Browns. I think Baltimore is gonna lose one of their next two games. I don't know if it'll be against New England this week or Green Bay next week, but I think Baltimore is gonna lose one of their next two games. I think Pittsburgh's gonna win this week and next week, and then they're gonna rest their starters week 18 against Baltimore and have a fresh and healthy old team, experienced squad in the playoffs. I think Pittsburgh can make it deep in this wide open AFC. I mean, seriously, if it's Houston at Pittsburgh in round one, who are you taking? I like Pittsburgh in that matchup. If it's New England at Pittsburgh in that round one playoff match, who do you like? Drake May?
We gotta worry about Aaron Rodgers' health and safety if they're playing against Houston round one. He might not make it out, dude. Like Houston's defense is insane, and the Patriots as well. Like it's going to be dangerous for Aaron Rodgers to play through the playoffs and have a deep run. But I'm not denying the fact that it is possible. You got a lot of lack of experienced quarterbacks going up against him, and Stroud probably has the most quarterback wins of anybody in that conference that's going to make the playoffs.
I mean, Josh Allen, outside Allen.
Well, yeah, outside of Allen, and then obviously Aaron Rodgers.
Rodgers, yeah. I mean, the only thing I wouldn't like if I'm Pittsburgh is to see Buffalo in round one. Outside of Buffalo, I mean, in the AFC, I think the scariest team is Buffalo. I think the second scariest team is Pittsburgh, just because of the quarterback experience, right? I mean, in the playoffs, it matters, man. The games shrink. Like the games become shorter. It becomes much more strategic. It's all about the mental mistakes in the playoffs. Situational football is everything, and in those situational moments, I want Aaron Rodgers over Drake May as much as I love Drake May. I want Rodgers over Bo Nix. I want Rodgers over Stroud, even though Stroud's played in a couple of playoff games. I want Rodgers over Herbert. Herbert has struggled in the playoffs. Trevor Lawrence, right? These types of guys. Give me Aaron Rodgers over all these guys. I really like Pittsburgh come playoff time, especially if that defense plays the way they played on Monday night.
Are you looking at the Steelers with rose-colored lenses in your glasses because like they just played the Dolphins and they got Tua benched, but the Dolphins are not a serious franchise. Like,
okay, they also beat Baltimore the week before, and Rodgers was slinging it against the Ravens. Go ahead.
You're using 2 weeks of proof to
yes.
show what they are right now.
2 weeks of proof and the fact that Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback. And remember, they did all that on defense against Miami without TJ Watt. TJ Watt's going to be back in time for the playoffs. And TJ Watt is a game changer when it comes to defensive players in this league. Now, he's not as dominant as he used to be, but he's still TJ freaking Watt.
Yeah, I agree, dude. TJ Watt. Is he back from his collapsed lung?
Not yet. I think they're expecting him to maybe come back this week, if not next week.
Hopefully he does come back and stays healthy the rest of the way. But the Steelers still not completely sold on them to make it past the first round of the playoffs. But I'll give you the benefit of the doubt that Aaron Rodgers can do it because that was your prediction at the beginning of the year. So.
For sure. My prediction was Tampa Bay versus Aaron Rodgers in the beginning of the year, and boy, do I hope I'm wrong on the NFC side. I hope the Buccaneers miss the playoffs. I hope the Carolina Panthers win that division, and we get some playoff football down in Charlotte again.
I hope so too, dude. And we need some buzz in Buzz City, bro. Like the Hornets, as I mentioned prior on this podcast, the Hornets are not going to do it. Shout out Concanepo. He's balling his rookie year.
He's the real deal.
Outside of that, yeah, we need Bryce Young to save North Carolina this year, and that starts on Sunday. So, Statline Pod will be in attendance, as Safal mentioned. Not me, but him. He'll be in attendance for us both while I'm on the slopes in West Virginia.
Bro will be shredding the snowshoe mountains.
Yeah, man. Watching NFL on my phone, up and
Yeah.
down the ski lift, or up the ski lift, down the mountain. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. You'll watch Carolina put themselves 1 game ahead, 2 games ahead, once they beat Tampa Bay in the playoff race.
Once they beat Tampa Bay, I love the confidence of all. Let's get it going this Sunday, man.
Yeah. All right, guys. Another great episode of Statline. We're gonna take it from here and see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.